Wanted to kick off today's video with some NFL news that does have an impact towards the New Orleans Saints, as Bill Belichick is likely going to be the next head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. There is a report that they will have a second interview with the head coach, who's possibly the greatest NFL head coach of all time this weekend. Welcome into Saints Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Trace Girouard, and let's talk about this update. We're also going to dive into some offensive coordinator news, my candidates, and the people who are interviewing with the Saints. But let's dive into the Josina Anderson report that came in this morning just a couple hours ago. She tweeted this out saying, barring a snag in negotiations or a future development, you still have to get a signature. I'm expecting Bill Belichick to become the next head coach of the NFC South's Atlanta Falcons. His previous rapport with the Falcons CEO, Rich McKay, creates comfort he can't mimic in any other building with a current vacancy. I honestly think that makes some total sense. I get it. I feel like the Falcons are a great fit for the head coach, former head coach of the New England Patriots. I honestly thought he was going to be a Dallas Cowboys head coach, but they're keeping Mike McCarthy for some unknown reason. But if the Falcons were to hire Bill Belichick, I want you to get active in the comment section. How worried would you be? Scale it 1 to 10. 1 meaning not worried at all. It's the same thing as having Arthur Smith 2.0. 10 being like my panic alarm is screaming like the fire alarm that was going on at my apartment last night at 4 a.m. So I want you to get in the comments and let me know. All right. Diving into the offensive coordinator discussion, the New Orleans Saints have requested to interview some offensive coordinator candidates, and I'm going to talk about who should get the job on today's video, as well as some candidates that I think the New Orleans Saints should go and check out because I have some good ideas. Dan Pitcher, he's the quarterbacks coach of the Cincinnati Bengals. Zac Robinson, he's the quarterback coach and pass game coordinator of the Los Angeles Rams. And Shane Waldron, the offensive coordinator. He is also a guy that the New Orleans Saints looked to interview, or requested an interview for. And here's just my general consensus on the offensive coordinator search. I want somebody that's young and hungry. I don't want somebody that's going to be gone in a year or even 2. Like, I want somebody that's going to come in and be a massive impact very quickly, who's creative, who's smart, who has very unique ideas and can create an offense that's unpredictable and fun to watch at the end of the day. So let's talk about who is Dan Pitcher. Let's get to know these candidates that are interviewing with the Saints so far. These are the only confirmed interviews that I have seen all over the internet, all over Twitter, all over anything that covers the Saints. This is the only interviews that are confirmed so far. Dan Pitcher, he helped develop Joe Burrow and Jake Browning, they helped develop both of them. Jake Browning, if you guys remember, he actually played pretty well when filling in for Burrow after that injury. He did speak with Tampa Bay last offseason about their open offensive coordinator position, but he stayed in Cincinnati and he took a pay increase to stay there, and he does have ties to the Shawn McVey coaching tree because of his relationship and coaching under Zach Taylor, the head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals. And cool thing about Dan Pitcher is he actually has a scouting background with the Indianapolis Colts. So if you were to lose Jeff Ireland, I mean, you do have a guy who knows how to scout players, who has experience scouting players. So that is a little bit of a silver lining. I'm a firm believer there always is one in life. So if you do go get Dan Pitcher, you do have somebody who can help you out in the scouting department. But, guys, I don't think the New Orleans Saints can get this one wrong. I do not believe the Saints have the chance to mess this up and still be able to recover. So if you want to help the Saints out, don't let them jinx it. Let's get the right OC hire. We need 500 likes on today's video. So if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up icon, like the video, so the Saints know they can't get this wrong. I need everyone to get loud and proud, like the video, and help us out. And guys, if you want to go further in supporting the channel, I encourage you to check out our awesome sponsor, Prize Picks. It's an easy way for you to win real money. You just go to prizepicks.com/CLNS, plug in promo code CLNS, get a first deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks is awesome. It's not gambling. It's not betting. It's daily fantasy sports. You just pick 2 or more players, choose more or less based on their projected stats, and voila, you are winning some money. All right, so I got a little bit of a bigger peepee than I've been showing off recently, so I'm going with the less on Jordan Love's passing yards. I thought that he did really good against the Cowboys defense, but I think that Niners defense is just going to come and show out and have a day. I also think that the Niners offense is going to run through George Kittle a lot in that passing game. He's a reliable target, so I'm taking the more on 52.5 receiving yards. And David Montgomery, I don't want the Bucs to win. So I'm speaking it into existence, and I'm projecting it into existence more than 57.5 rushing yards. You can follow my picks. You can fade my picks. I don't care what you do. Just do it with Prize Picks. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Plug in promo code CLNS to get that first deposit match up to $100. Shout out to Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy. All that information is in the comment section description of this video because I love you. All right. So let's talk about Zac Robinson, another guy that the Saints are going to be interviewing. He was a 7th-round pick by New England back in 2010, and he spent 4 years in the NFL as a quarterback. And in 2023, this past season, he was the Rams pass game coordinator, and he's viewed as one of the top offensive coordinator candidates this offseason. Last year, he had interviews with Baltimore and Los Angeles, and that's a scoop on Zac Robinson. I think that he could be a really good fit for New Orleans. He's done really good things with Matthew Stafford. That Rams offense is really good, especially in the pass game. Shane Waldron is a big name that the Saints are bringing in 2021 to now. He was the offensive coordinator for the Seahawks. He did a lot of really good things with Geno Smith, helping him revamp his career. In 2017 to 2020, he had various coaching positions with the Los Angeles Rams, and he's a 2-time Super Bowl champion way back in 2003 and 2004. But he's got some rings and he got some hardware, and it's pretty hard to get that done in the NFL. There is a common theme with all three of these guys. They all have ties to Sean McVey. I think that's a great thing. Sean McVey and Kyle Shanahan, I think, are the two best coaching trees you can pull from right now. They are smart offensive minds. They're creative. They are unique offenses. They have a lot of pre-snap motion. They have a lot of moving pieces. They utilize a lot of different looks. And at the end of the day, they're just fun to watch. Like, even if their teams aren't great, they're fun to watch on offense, and they make the most out of their offensive players. So I think that that's a great tree to pull from. I love the Saints going and interviewing some of these guys because I think it's the right move for New Orleans. But I want you to shout them out for me, Saints fans. Who do you want to be the offensive coordinator next season? I have some other targets that I'm going to throw your way, but I want you to take a second and let me know, who do you want to be the OC? Now, if you need some names, if you're down in the comment section thinking, Trace, I don't like those three guys, who are some other ones? Well, here you go. Clint Kubiak, he's the pass game coordinator for San Francisco. You know how good Brock Purdy and that passing offense is in San Fran. It's really good out there in the Bay, and I've been impressed with him. I think he'd be a great addition to the Saints staff. Cliff Kingsbury, he's the head coach of USC. He is an option. He has NFL experience. I think that he could be a good coordinator, not necessarily a head coach, but a coordinator. Joe Brady, he's an LSU Tiger. He's done some really good things, turned the Buffalo Bills offense around this season after they moved on from their former offensive coordinator. Ronald Curry, he is an internal candidate that you could go and get with the QB coach. Jerrod Johnson, the quarterback coach for the Houston Texans. All I have to say is CJ Stroud. Watch the tape. John Gruden, he's the former head coach of Las Vegas. He has been tied to the Saints. Eric Bieniemy, he had an interview with the Saints last offseason that lasted a handful of hours, left without a deal. He could be an interesting guy to have homecoming. And G.J. Kinne, the head coach of Texas State. Eat 'em up, Couts. Shout out my mom and dad. That is their alma mater. Guys, don't you dare sleep on G.J. Kinne. I know a lot of y'all are thinking, who the hell is this guy? Who's this guy in a small-town school playing in the Sun Belt in the middle of Central Texas? Well, this dude is freaking special. I love what he's been able to do, and he has an incredibly great resume. At Texas State in 2022, before G.J. Kinne, they were averaging 21 points per game on offense and just 325 yards per game. But after Kinne came in and put his hand on that program down in San Marcos, he brought that average of points per game up to 36 points, and he averages the 457 yards per game with quarterback TJ Finley. He was electric, took the Bobcats to their first ever bowl game in school history with the First Responder Bowl in Frisco, Texas. I got to go watch that game. I got to see him coach in person. That dude is special. He's going to make a very good career in the NFL, I believe. And then he just didn't do it at Texas State. He also did it down in San Antonio at Incarnate Ward. before G.J. Kinne, 39 points per game, 513 yards per game. And then in 2022, once he steps in, over 50 points per game and 720 yards. Are you freaking kidding me? You're telling me you don't want this down in the Bayou? I think that it would be a mistake to not at least give this guy a call and see what's up. He's only making like $1 million a year down in San Marcos. He has a contract through 2028, but if Mickey Loomis said, hey, here's $3 million to come and be our coach in the NFL, are you kidding me? You wouldn't take that? Come on now. So my top 5 picks in no particular order. I got Joe Brady, G.J. Kinne, Zac Robinson, Jerrod Johnson, and Shane Waldron. Those are my top 5 picks for the offensive coordinator position. I can't wait to see what you guys have to say in the comment section. Again, let me know who you want to be the OC. And as always, Saints fans, don't forget to subscribe. We will be doing live coverage throughout the offseason. We're giving you updates and information all throughout the draft process, free agency, the coaching search. So don't miss a thing. Lock us in and subscribe today. Saints fans, y'all stay golden. We'll catch you next time.